What's good, superstars? Back with another Pokemon TCG Pocket video. You got Superstar Joe, you got Superstar Rob in the building. How's it going, Rob?
Pretty good, you?
Man, trying to counter those psychic abilities, those psychic moves. How do you beat Mewtwo EX? We're going to tell you right now because it's been a lot of fun playing with this deck that we're going to show you today. But if you haven't already, don't forget to become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification so you know whenever we post some battle footage like you got in this one, and basically some strategy, some tips. We're loving making this content. It's been a lot of fun. We're playing the game all the time, so why not talk about it? You can also become a superstar VIP, $2.99 a month. Hit the join button down below. If you level up through the stars, 2 years of being supporter gets you a hat for free. What else are we going to do in this program? Who knows? But we do giveaways every single month for those who are members and continue to make it a fun program. Follow us on X, follow us on Instagram, join the Discord. On Discord, we have a Pokemon TCG channel. You can go in there, you can talk about your cards, you can talk about your strategies. If you want to talk about this video, you can go in there, and it's all isolated to people who love to follow Pokemon TCG or digitally collecting of these cards. I mean, there's a physical card game, and then there's a digital game. Obviously, digital game taking the world by storm right now, and a lot of interest on the Discord there. So definitely check out our Discord. The link is in the description.
Yeah, we've been loving the game. We've been doing a lot of playing, but we've also been doing a lot of videos on this recently. So welcome if it's the first time you found us. So today, let's talk about it, Joe. Now, I am a Mewtwo deck user. That's all I've used from the beginning. I got Mewtwo right off the bat. I got a second Mewtwo pretty quickly, and I've been able to build everything I need to have doubles of every single of the Ralts and the evolutions, as well as the Mewtwo. So I've had everything I need in order to use this deck. Now, I've seen different variations of it, Joe. The one we're going to show today, the guy that you fought, decided to use kind of the lower tier Mewtwo. I'm completely against that personally. So if you watch our video from our last video that we did on this, I stick just to the EX Mewtwo's, and then of course the Ralts.
I mean, it'll work with either one because the health or whatever, I think he just uses him as a pawn in this case. He's trying to load up the Mewtwo EX in the background. But even if you have two Mewtwo EXs off the gate, which is kind of tough to do, one of them probably going to act more of a pawn. The other one, they're going to load up in the back and try to bring it out and beat you with it if they can get to that Gardevoir. We talked about the Gardevoir Mewtwo deck yesterday or a couple days ago on that video. But, I mean, I think that we've cracked the code here, Rob.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about it, right? So, obviously, Mewtwo's are psychic, and you got the dark here. So, you're going to have the advantage, a super effective advantage on this. I have fought this deck myself. I've played against the Arbok deck, and I have not had a lot of great success with it because you just don't have time to set up your Mewtwo's, right? So while we talk about this, Joe, I mean, this is your video. This is you live in battle. Let's play this, and while it plays, why don't you tell us what's going on here?
Well, first of all, like you mentioned, you're going to look at the type, but this is not the sexy deck, as they call it. You don't have any EXs on my side. I have just the regular Arbok. I got the Muck. I got the coughing, wheezing. And anytime that they get beat, you're only losing 1 point. So something that people don't like to do. They want to get those EXs because they got superpowers and stuff like that. But this is a frustrating deck. And it's got so much versatility, depending on who you play, depending on what you get. But, I mean, if you pair this with the Kygo or the Koga, whatever his name is there. What's his name there? Koga. He lets you pull Wheezing away into your decks. You can load up with Wheezing and poison the guy. And then if you don't want to pay the 3 stars to take him down, you just put Koga in, pulls him to your deck, and then you could throw Arbok in there, or you could throw Muck in there, get another 50 damage on top of the 70 damage and throw 120, depending on what you get in your draw. So there's multiple ways to do this. Some people just play Arbok and Wheezing because Wheezing leaves the poison, and then you can strangle the guy with the Arbok and keep him in the place that you want. Sabrina is a wild card here. If you're able to get Sabrina on top of having Arbok set up, you're looking really good here because Sabrina will bring into a Pokemon from the bench. Maybe they only have 1 Pokemon on the bench. A lot of times they only have 1 Pokemon on the bench. If it's the Mewtwo EX Gardevoir deck, they're going to have to choose. Do I bring in my second Mewtwo, or do I bring in my Gardevoir, which is helping me load my Mewtwo? And it's really not something that they want to do. And then Arbok forces them to stay in there and deals 80 damage per turn because it's 60 plus 20. And then if you have a Giovanni, you're hitting 90 damage per turn. It's kind of like OP against the Mewtwo deck, but I'm loving it against a lot of decks nowadays. I don't know. I mean, you can watch it here. He puts in the Mewtwo EX. He's not loaded up yet. He can't take it out to put in his pawn Mewtwo that he tried to put in the front there. and I'm just taking full advantage with Arbok here, strangling him. And it's just it was a lot of fun. Even if he Sabrina'd me out, I had I think he does that here too somewhere. He even gets rid of my whole deck. I was with the red card. It was a lot of fun, this battle. I just I couldn't believe, like, I was like, oh, I got the EX, let me record to see what happens. First time actually I ever played this deck with the dark deck, and I'm like, let's see what happens, let's see if this is the true deck. So he hits me, he's got the 50 because he can't load up yet. So I'm down to 50. I think I potion here somewhere, and it's hard for me to see what's there. Yeah, so then Coughing goes in, Grimer goes in, but it doesn't even matter at this point because I got the second Arbok. I think I do get an Ekans at some point too here, but I just load up Coughing here in case Wheezing comes in, because I'd rather have the Wheezing with the poison, and it's only one energy to get going. But yeah, a lot of fun here. You can just watch it play out. He's got 10 energy. He can't pull him away. Arbok's just laughing at him the whole time, he's only going to be able to do 50 damage here.
Another thing too about this deck that's pretty good is you don't have to worry about losing two, right? If one guy goes down, it's just 1 point. Unlike with the X's, that counts as 2 points. So you're going to be playing like whether it's the Lapras deck, the Articuno deck, remember the whole thing with the Misties to help load guys up, the Pikachu deck. It doesn't matter what deck it is; they have that disadvantage that you're going to get 2 points if you take. So
there goes his EX. You lose that EX, it's pretty much over.
That's the 2 points right there.
Because usually you're focusing on one of your EXs, right?
At this point, he might as well just concede. He should be conceding soon. There's really no way. There's no way out of this at this point. It's too late for him.
He didn't even grab a point. He didn't even grab a point against a deck with 0 EXs in it. That's how fun this deck is.
You've been using this deck for a while now. Would you say this deck has any weaknesses?
The weaknesses is the luck, in my opinion. I mean, I've lost with the deck. I've only played with it. I've had it around. I've seen it around. I've faced it, and I've lost, even with Pikachu's EX, because that's like my go-to deck has been Pikachu EX, just because that's the cards that I've drawn. I don't have 2 Mewtwo EXs, so I really haven't played with that deck as much. Even here, I don't have 2 Weezings, so I put in Muck, but I do have 2 Arboks, and Arbok is like the king here. I think the weakness is because I'm so spread out here, if you don't land the basic Pokemon, like the times that I do lose, I notice that I'm not getting enough basic Pokemon, or I'm not pulling those Pokeballs to pull basic Pokemon in, and then they're beating me before I even have a chance to load 3 Pokemon. So that's what I think the weakness is. But I think that could go for any deck. Like if you're playing the Mewtwo deck as the offense against anybody, if you don't get that Gardevoir, it makes it a whole lot harder to do anything. What if you don't even pull Mewtwo, right?
Right. So. It does happen all the time. Like with the Mewtwo deck, you may not pull Mewtwo. Like you can sometimes just get defaulted out because you just didn't get the cards to be able to battle. You just got 2 Ralts. You didn't get a Mewtwo. You got a Mewtwo way too late. By then, you're already getting destroyed. So the thing about this deck that I like is that it seems like it's more consistent, potentially, in getting the cards you need to attack right off the bat. We need to run a simulation, Joe. I think we got to do some private battles, one-on-one. I'll use the Mewtwo deck. You use this deck, and we should record how often each deck wins. And I'd like to know statistically what's the success rate. I'd be very, very interested in trying that.
No, I mean we are a stats channel. We love to do our stuff based off of numbers. I think I think that it's something that we should definitely consider. I think people would love to know, like, what's better between a Pikachu EX and a Mewtwo EX deck, because maybe they don't have each other's weaknesses. Obviously, you're playing against a dark pack here. Mewtwo is at a huge disadvantage, but Mewtwo versus Pikachu, some people are Camp Pikachu. Some people are Camp Charizard. They're saying, like, if you can load up the Charizard with the Moltres, that's the best deck. So maybe we got to do some kind of simulations, like you said, between the 3 of them and see what we can do. I just need to make sure that I get 2 EXs of like Charizards and Mewtwo, because I only think I have 1 for those. So I have to get those decks set up before we can do that.
Yeah, so you only have 1 Pikachu, only 1 EX Pikachu? I thought you had 2.
I have 2 Pikachu EXs, but the Charizard I only have 1.
I don't have
and Mewtwo only 1. Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool decks out there. I mean, the Starmie one's pretty cool. That's another one I've had some trouble with. For the most part, I'm okay with the water ones. But if that Misty rolls right out the gate, it's not even fair, right? It's game over.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Let us know in the comments below what do you guys think. about this. Do you guys agree that this is how you beat the Mewtwo deck? Let us know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button, join the superstar fam, and hit the bell notification so you know when we're posting our videos a couple times a week. Also, thank you to our VIPs. Thank you all for your support. Everyone, take care. See you next one. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.